News 4 at 4, working for you.
Roadways are blocked, traffic jams, jackknife semis, things like that. I'm telling you now, today is a day of staying home and being safe.
Winter storms are blanketing parts of the country, leaving thousands stranded at airports or left in the dark inside their homes. Right now, more than 10 million people across the Midwest are under blizzard warnings. We're going to show you some of the most dangerous parts of those storms coming up. Hi, everybody. I'm Jeremy Finley. Tracy Cornett will be here at 5 o'clock. We are feeling our own winter weather here in Middle Tennessee. We're going to go straight now to Lisa Spencer, who's breaking it down for us. Lisa?
Well, the good news coming up.
Okay, Lisa, as she just showed us, Metro officials are opening an overflow shelter tonight because it is simply so cold. The shelter opens at 7 o'clock at Shelby Park Community Center off 20th Street. There will be 5 to 7 kennels available for people with pets. The city is asking folks to check the space at other shelters before they come to the overflow site. You can find Lisa's up-to-the-minute forecast on the 4Warn weather app. It is the easiest way to know when temperatures will get to potentially dangerous levels and when you'll need to take precautions. Let's take a look now at your 4Warn traffic. This is a live look at I-24 at Hickory Hollow. Things are looking pretty good. Well, work is underway on one of the busiest stretches of that interstate in South Nashville. The Hickory Hollow Parkway Interchange project will take a little more than 3 years to complete. Let's go live now to News 4's Edward Birch, who's at the work site. So, Edward, we can see behind you, you're actually starting to work on this already, aren't they?
Jeremy.
All right, Edward Birch reporting for us. Thank you, Edward. Well, happening now, the I-440 construction overhaul is finally starting up, according to TDOT. This week, crews will start working on a noise wall and ramp projects near West End. They say that work should last for about 4 to 6 weeks. Crews will also work on fiber relocation and lighting. Every morning, News 4 traffic reporter Melanie Layton will help you navigate around all this construction, so make sure to watch so you know which roads to take starting at 5 a.m. We have new information for you on several overnight crimes involving teenagers. An 18-year-old is in the hospital after being shot multiple times. This happened along George L. Davis Boulevard at Church Street around 1 a.m. News 4 was first on the scene. The teen's injuries are serious. Another 18-year-old is in critical condition after he was shot in the neck last night. Metro Police believe it happened on 16th Avenue North. The victim was taken to Nashville General Hospital by a relative before officers arrived. Today, police arrested a suspect in connection to a 15-year-old who was shot after a rollover crash. This was on Edgar Diller Road near Greenbrier. Take a look now at a photo from our news partners at Smoky Barn News. Investigators say the car crashed as 4 people and the gunshot victim left the scene of the shooting. Now, 20-year-old Ashton Bolin is in the Robertson County Detention Facility. He faces charges, including attempted criminal homicide. Police are also on the hunt for a second suspect. Metro Police are searching for the man you're seeing there on your screen. He is accused of robbing a bank in Bellevue on Friday. Police say he walked into the First Tennessee Bank on Highway 70 and Sawyer Brown Road wearing a mask, demanding money from a teller, pistol whipped a customer, and then got away. That customer is now recovering from a concussion. It is official. The next death row inmate in Tennessee set for execution will die by the electric chair. Today was the deadline for David Earl Miller to decide between the electric chair and lethal injection. Miller was convicted in a 1981 murder. His execution is set for December 6th. More cases of a polio-like illness have been reported. The CDC has announced there are now 116 confirmed cases of acute flaccid myelitis in 31 states. A total of 286 cases are currently under investigation. Experts still do not know what's causing the paralyzing condition, which has mainly affected children. No deaths, though, have been reported. General Motors has just announced a major shakeup. They are restructuring, which means thousands of workers will be out of work and production will be halted at 5 North American facilities. Dan Scheneman explains why the company says this is needed as they refocus.
To the future.
And here in the mid-state, we have a GM plant in Spring Hill, but we've learned it will not be part of this restructuring. The 5 plants affected are in Detroit, Ohio, Maryland, Michigan, and Ontario, Canada. During one of Amazon's biggest business days, folks are protesting the company. Folks gathered at an Amazon store in New York to oppose the new headquarters being built in Long Island City. Protesters are concerned Amazon's presence will displace existing residents. Okay, to Titans fans, tonight may be the most important game of the season. Tennessee plays in Houston in a crucial division matchup. Chris Harris is here. So, Chris, what's exactly on the line here for the Titans?
Jeremy, really any shot a bit different.
Let's hope so, Chris. Thank you. Tennessee House Democrats have just elected the first African-American minority leader. They chose Representative Karen Camper of Memphis. Democrats made the pick Sunday in leadership elections. The next legislative session begins in January. Coming up, a truck crashes into a home, but it wasn't the main obstacle that stood in the way of the homeowner's safety. What else made it so hard to rescue the woman inside this house?
We are going to see some of the coldest air we've had so far this season, and we're not even to winter yet. I'm talking teens. I'll have details on just how cold it will be just ahead.
And a little bit later in the show, we're going to show you how folks are making the best of winter storms while they are stranded and stuck in all that snow.
You're watching News 4 with Tracy Cornett and forewarned Chief Meteorologist Lisa Spencer.
One of the world's most philanthropic celebrities is mourning the loss of her mother. Oprah Winfrey's mother, Vernita Lee, passed away in her Milwaukee home on Thanksgiving Day. The family confirmed her death to People magazine. Lee worked as a housekeeper throughout her life. She had 4 children, including Oprah, and another daughter she placed up for adoption. Lee was 83 years old. Actor Alec Baldwin is facing criminal charges, accused of punching a man in the face for stealing a parking spot outside the actor's luxury New York City apartment. Today, the 60-year-old actor pleaded not guilty to charges of attempted assault and harassment. Jerry Springer is back. He is returning to daytime television, but this time he's going to be in the courtroom as a judge. He made a deal with NBC for the new show, Judge Jerry. Springer actually has a law degree from Northwestern University. Before he was a talk show host, he had a career in politics, including as a stint as the mayor of Cincinnati. Judge Jerry is expected to premiere in the fall of 2019. Right now, UPS is hiring batches of new drivers. The company is predicting upwards of 800 million packages to be shipped in the peak of this holiday season. All of those new drivers are going through a type of holiday boot camp. Their training process is high tech, includes virtual reality. Tonight at 5:30, NBC's Jolene Kent will take us inside this unique training. We've got new video to show you of an aftermath of a truck crashing into a home. This is near Tampa, Florida, where police say the truck driver is on the run. A neighbor says he heard the crash, and when he saw the truck in the house, he rushed over to try to help. The 71-year-old living inside and her dog were pinned under the truck. The neighbor says the darkness and debris made it difficult for him to move through the mess to rescue her.
Walking under the glasses, help, help, help. I was like crazy looking for the woman.
It took rescue crews more than 30 minutes to free the woman and her dog. She's now in the hospital in critical condition. Right now, there's a sandstorm in northwest China that might rival one on Mars. The sandstorm created a sand wall that reached almost 100 meters high. It engulfed the city in a matter of minutes and caused traffic havoc. Look at that. The strong winds also sparked fires, which quickly, though, were put out. Here in the U.S., folks are feeling the effects of winter storms. This is a look at what's happening in Chicago. Blankets of snow cover the downtown area as a large severe storm moves through that region. In some areas, folks say 13 inches have fallen. Schools and businesses are shut down and hundreds of flights have been canceled. Winter has certainly a strong hold on the Midwest right now. Snow and ice are leaving thousands of holiday travelers stranded as millions work to dig out. And the system that delivered blizzard conditions for the last couple of days is now slowly moving towards the East Coast. Jay Gray now with the very latest. Let's take a look now at the flights coming in and out of Nashville's International Airport. If you take a close look, you can see all those delayed. Looks like that they are departures right now. Delay after delay. So if you or a loved one is going through the airport, don't forget to check the airport's website to see if there are any delays or cancellations. All right, let's get right over to Chief Meteorologist Lisa Spencer for the latest that we can expect on our temperatures. We're going to be in for a bit of a roller coaster, I imagine, temperature-wise, huh?
We are beginning of next week.
We will enjoy those 60s while we can, Lisa. Thanks. Well, coming up, most Americans will do a lot of their shopping online, but consumer experts say physical stores are getting the best of online discounts. We're going to explain how. The The peak of Cyber Monday sales has yet to happen. The busiest time for online sales will be tonight between 7 and 10. An estimated $1.2 billion of sales are expected within those few hours this evening. Adobe calls it the golden hours of online shopping. Liz McLaughlin shows us what's different about online shopping this year. And right now you can go to our website, click on a story breaking down the simple ways to avoid getting scammed this Cyber Monday. You can also find the story on our News 4 app. Now you can get in and out of stores faster than ever before. Stores like Macy's, Old Navy, and Walmart are turning to technology for new checkout options. Macy's will have mobile checkout at all of its stores this time for the first time. Old Navy and Gap employees will have devices to check out customers on the spot. Make sure you ask for employees about all of those checkout options. Coming up, delays at the VA have hit tens of thousands who've served our country. In an especially tough spot are veteran students right here in the mid-state. And we are in the era of being able to genetically choose who will our children will be. One scientist says this will happen, but it's not without controversy. We're explaining the living proof that gene editing could work.
News 4 at 4:30, working for you.
They're having to take second jobs. They're nervous about making payments. It's the hardship that they've gone through has just been extraordinary.
It is an issue that has hit tens of thousands who served our country. Delays within the Department of Veterans Affairs are creating a financial burden for many, including veteran students. Hi, everybody. I'm Jeremy Finley. Tracy Cornett will be here at 5 o'clock. MTSU is seeing the effects of the delays firsthand, and that's where we find News 4's Forrest Sanders.
News 4.
All right, now to a Chinese researcher who's claiming he helped produce the first ever gene-edited babies. Twin girls were born this month with, according to the scientists, altered DNA. The procedure is highly controversial and banned in the United States and most countries around the world. NBC's Barrett Arnett explains the new frontier in medicine. Now, the parents of the DNA-altered twins declined to be identified or interviewed, and the Chinese team would not say where they live. Students who survived a horrible crime just got the opportunity of a lifetime during the Indianapolis Colts football game. Ella Whistler and her teacher were both shot back in May when the student opened fire. She was shot 7 times and still survived. Now that she's recovered, she and her classmates were invited to sing the national anthem at the Colts game on Sunday.
I get to do a lot of different things now because of this, and I think it's really cool to be able to have this experience, a lifetime experience that no one ever really gets to do.
Ella also got to join the players at midfield during the coin toss and later danced with the Colts cheerleaders. Well, today is the biggest online shopping day of the year. Chances are good you're going to use a certain type of credit card for your online purchases. News 4's Chris Miller explains their popularity.
Who doesn't love?
Let's take a look now at your forewarned traffic. This is a live look at I-40 east of Briley Parkway in Hermitage, and we like to see this smooth traffic everywhere you're looking there at that picture. No delays that we know of right now. This is what we want to see this time of day. First Lady Melania Trump unveiled the decked halls of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in photos and in a video on Twitter. This year's theme is American Treasures, and the White House says the elaborate display was designed by the First Lady. There are dozens of Christmas trees to see, including the Gold Star family tree and the 18-foot official White House Christmas tree. Coming up, a selfless act is catching the attention of folks across the country. What one high school band did when their rival band never showed up.
And we've got
A bus accident that canceled the college marching band's performance led to a heartwarming show of sportsmanship. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
ISS.
All right, still ahead, for many, office holiday parties were an American company tradition. And today, not so much. The social movement that's casting a shadow over office parties that has many companies avoiding them altogether.
You're watching News 4 with Tracy Cornett and forewarned Chief Meteorologist Lisa Spencer.
Prince Harry and his wife Meghan Markle are moving out. Royal officials say it's so the couple can prepare for the birth of their first child. But 2 newspapers are claiming it's because of tension between Markle and Duchess Kate. Britain's Sun newspaper and the Daily Mail are reporting unease between the two wives.
I think, Meghan and Kate are two very different women. Yes, they're in a sort of similar position in the royal family, but they're very different characters.
Harry and Meghan will move from Kensington Palace early next year to a cottage near the chapel where they were married. A new study finds young football players may see damage to their brains even after one season on the field. Researchers looked at 60 football players with no history of head trauma. After just one season, a new study shows high-impact players had damage to an essential part of brain development. They say more research is needed to look at long-term effects. 1 in 40 children in the U.S. has autism. That's according to a study published today in the journal Pediatrics. Researchers got the data from the parents of more than 50,000 children. 27% take medication for symptoms. 64% receive behavioral treatment. The study also noted parents were 44% more likely to have problems getting mental health services for a child with autism than for kids with other emotional or developmental disorders. So if you ended up tossing most of your Thanksgiving leftovers, you are not alone. A new survey from the American Dairy Association finds 94% of people admit to throwing away food. Most say they dump food because it's past its expiration date. Thanksgiving weekend is over, but many Americans in the Midwest are still waiting for a ride home. A winter storm grounded hundreds of flights on Sunday and is expected to head northeast this week. Omar Jimenez reports. Let's take a look now at the flights coming in and out of Nashville's International Airport. These are the departures, and look there. You can see all that delayed. A lot of it is coming from Chicago. You can see just what a mess it is there. So it's always a good idea. If a loved one is going through the airport or you are, just make sure to check the airport's website to see if there are any delays or cancellations. We've certainly had some cold temperatures in the last 24 hours. Let's go to Chief Meteorologist Lisa Spencer to see how long it'll stick with us. Lisa?
And Jeremy, one of the big things with the next 7 days.
There's your roller coaster. Thank you, Lisa. Hey, let's take a look at your forewarned traffic. This is a live look from our Renaissance cameras at I-65 near I-40. This is, of course, by the Adventure Science Center, lit up there. As we see this time of day, a whole lot of brake lights and a whole lot of people coming through, but we don't know of any traffic delays to bring to you right now. NASA's InSight lander has reached Mars. The device launched on May 5th and is designed to get an in-depth look at the red planet. For 2 years, it will examine the inner structure of Mars to help answer questions about the solar system. Scientists say they hope to understand the formation and evolution on Mars and other planets. Experts say the economy is going strong right now, but that doesn't mean American companies are spending money to have annual holiday office parties.
Surprisingly, only 65% of companies that we surveyed are planning to have a holiday party this year.
So that's according to a new survey that claims it all has to do with the Me Too movement.
Certainly, companies are worried about potential lawsuits stemming from inappropriate behavior that happens typically at holiday parties when it's after hours, when there's alcohol flowing.
While some companies are still having their annual parties, many are doing away with serving alcohol. NBC's The Voice continues tonight. Singers will be performing live to earn spots in the show's top 10. Stephanie Stanton joins us now with a preview. It all starts right here on NBC News 4 at 7 o'clock, followed by a new episode of Manifest at News 4 at 10. Coming up, we all make a budget for the holidays, right? Now some experts say our plans don't matter. We're breaking down the simple ways stores are getting us to spend more money than we want without us ever realizing it. Right now, a lot of folks are decorating for Christmas, which means many are searching for the perfect tree. But it could actually be harder to come by this year. Local tree sellers say it's been difficult to find good trees this year. The tree shortage actually started a decade ago when the 2008 recession and droughts drove many growers out of business. We spoke with Jim Savine, who runs the Kiwanis Christmas tree lot on White Bridge Road.
We're playing catch up, and we've got another year to catch up. I hope I don't run out. Like I said, I do have 3 more trucks coming over the next 3 weeks.
He says he's had to pay more for trees this year, but he's not passing those costs on to his customers. Officials say larger retailers are doing just fine. U.S. consumers are expected to buy about 27 million trees, roughly the same as the last 2 years. With holiday shopping in full swing, you may be tempted to splurge and overspend, but it's not your fault. Kim Hutcherson explains how experts say stores use mind games to get you to open your wallet. All right, still ahead, an update on the deadly domestic attack in Brentwood's Governor Club. And Attention Antioch, a long-term construction project you'll want to know about, what it means for traffic in the meantime. News 4 at 5 starts right now.
News 4 at 5.